Everybody, what's going on? We are back on the free-to-play, and we did some things. We did some things to talk about. Worth talking about for sure. The account is going to look a little bit different than yesterday when the video ended. And I am not entirely sure how I feel about it yet, but we've committed and we're going to figure it out. So let's go in here and talk about what we did. You'll notice a little bit of a difference in the way my roster looks. Guhana got the regression potion. I realized I was kind of thinking about my overall progress, excuse me, and how everything was going. And I realized that of my blue options, yes, I have Margarita, but she's a great AoE damage dealer. Certainly someone we're going to build at some point. But my blue mark champs were Senton and Guhana. They have hit a wall in the Tower of Mark that I think it's going to take some single target damage to get through, right? We're going to need the support steel and we're going to need an extra damager. Margarita could have been that option, sure, but I'm not quite ready to focus her yet, okay? I don't think she's going to do much for my overall progression. Then I'm looking at my green champs, and I'm like, I've got Hazanja, who is now 5A. I have Molina, who is an interesting champ because she's got some support built in, but I kind of want to focus her attack anyway, so I'm going to be able to get some damage out of her as well. And then Space, who we know is fantastic, and we know that I want to build. So I was like, what's going to be the best option here to push me through these missions? And I feel like Hazanja, Molina, and Space have a better shot of getting through Tower 19 than Senton and Guhana did, right? With Margarita not even being 1A yet. You know what I mean? It's going to be a little bit. So, we're trying it out. And even if it ends up being the wrong decision, that's okay. It is fine, because part of what I want to offer with these videos in this series is sometimes I want to see how something goes so that you guys can see how it goes. So that if you're a little behind me or you find yourself in a similar situation, maybe I can make the mistake and save you the mistake, right? So you can kind of watch my progress here and we can see if that was a good move. And if it was, then you can, if you find yourself at a similar crossroads, at least you've got a point of reference. You don't have to just completely wonder. So even if this is the wrong decision, there's still something to be taken away from it, and it'll ultimately get corrected, right? I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I'll literally never be able to progress again. I might put myself in a situation where I halt myself for a little bit, and I've got to make a little bit more food and get a few more champs rolling. But ultimately, it's not to the end of the world. And again, this way you guys have kind of a point of reference if you're using this for informational purposes, right? I know some of you would like to just hang out and watch, and then some of the newer players perhaps are learning some things from these videos. So either way, it's honestly a win-win. I'm not in a hurry to push this account to the end game or anything anyway. So they did make a little bit of progress in the Tower of Mark, actually, after I did that. We do have to work our way up a little bit to 19. I think I'm trying to remember where we're at in green. We'll go take a look right now and see where we're at in the tower, in the green tower. We got a lot of red dots to get through too. So yeah, we're not too far behind. The blue, we were on 19 and that's where we were stuck. And in green, we're now at 16. And 16, if I'm not mistaken, 16 is the same as 19. I think they're both the shield one. So we still kind of have to sort this out. And I think this is going to be where we get to find out, like, if the damage on her is going to be something that's, like, reasonable to get through the shield. I'm also trying to figure this one out. I feel like there should be a window where the dude is not immune to debuffs. I know when he grants safety device, he grants a shield. And then when it's active, he's immune to all debuffs. Now, my understanding of this, anyway, maybe once he unlocks safety device, it's just unlocked permanently, and that's what that means. The way I was reading it the first time was that if the shield was safety device, right? the shield was safety device. If the shield was active, he was immune to debuffs. We'll have to get in there and test it a little bit. If I can figure out a way to get debuffs on him, we'll melt him, right? It won't be a problem. It's a matter of getting through that shit. Let's actually go in here and just look. Let's take a look and see if we can't figure out the mechanics of this dungeon, because I think if we can figure that out, we can take advantage of it a little bit. Hazanja at 5A is nasty, dude. He's great. A solid investment for sure. So toward the end of this round, I'll take over manually, and we'll just go in here and see if we can't figure out exactly what's going on with this boss. Hopefully no one dies in this wave. Okay, let's see what we've got going on in here. So he does that at the beginning. He unlocks safety device, which I really think means the shield. When he enables safety device, he becomes immune to all debuffs and boosts damage at the end of the turn. Okay, let's heal up. I guess we can think about taking out the minions. We'll do that. Can't put a debuff on him, so I guess we'll throw a slow up, or maybe not. Wait, does she have a slow in the A2, or am I mixing her up with Guhana? What is it? What does this one do? Removes all attribute buffs from all enemies. Then deals damage to fewer targets. Okay. Didn't heal because there were shields. I kind of wanted to see if shield damage counted, but it does not apparently, which is good. Good to know. All right, I think now we can do this. So yeah, I also want to get Liz going for overall progression, because Liz is amazing, but I do want to get invested in these guys too, so that I can start pushing through these tower stages. But first I want to see what's the deal. She needs a healing set. I've got her in like full speed right now. We might have to rework her. We might have to sacrifice a little bit of speed for her. Yeah, she's got a slow here. Okay, so now let's see if we can't... I don't know if we do enough damage to get through the shield. But what I'm really curious about... Yeah, this might be a matter of needing to... Did he just do the safety thing twice in a row? Let's just watch for a minute and see. So I think what we're gonna need is these guys, because I think I've got her built like full HP right now. I'll have to go check her gear. I swear that cooldown's not happening. Is this like raids cooldowns where if there's a 1, that means they'll get to use it next turn? Let's watch it. Let's watch and see again real quick. All right, so there's a 1 there. Let's see what he does. No, see, now it's available, I think. I have to keep watching. Okay. Now maybe we'll get to see, because that's on a longer cooldown. Yeah, it's like raids cooldowns. At the end of the turn, the number ticks down. I don't like that, honestly. Here, I want this to turn into a 1 for the next turn. And then after that turn, I want it to be lit up so that I know he's got access to it when his turn meter fills up. That's the way I like these cooldowns to display. Awakened Chaos Era did it the way that I like to see it. I don't like it like that. I feel like anything that's lit up should be what he's got access to when he gets his turn. And that just feels like that makes the most sense to me. I don't know why that doesn't make the most sense to a lot of the developers, but it is what it is, I reckon. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go look at Molina's gear and see what it looks like if we put more damage on her, because I think I've got her built all support right now. I think that's the way I've got her set up. So I've got her on a crit rate set. Why do I have Molina in a first aid set? Like, why would I not have prioritized that for someone else? Interesting. So I've got her in crit rate and first aid. So she's on speed and crit rate. And let's just get a real quick refresher. She's doing healing based on the damage of the attack. Restores their max HP. 1 layer of chivalry, which increases her direct damage dealt by 2.2%. For every 1 layer of buff she has. Up to 20 layers. Now you can't get 20 layers of buffs. I need to pay attention to how that works too. And then removes all buffs, deals damage, your enemy targets, more damage, up to 330%. Okay, so let's see what it's like if we focus attack more on her. Let's get this first aid set off of her. When did I get a first aid set? Was that a reward for something, or did I craft that? All right, and then, well, I need to get in a freak, dude. What did we farm last night? We farmed some dungeon a lot last night. I don't remember which one it was. I would assume rum, but it could have been not rum. Looks like it was rum. Look at all this 4-star legendary gear. Give me 5-star legendary gear so I can craft stuff, you know? All right. Let's think about getting an attack on her. It's not a bad piece. All of these have mastery on them, though. I don't think I care about mastery. I am so weirded out about how little attack gear I have. That is odd. I don't know why I have... That's the only set that I have, like, none of. I don't understand how that happened. That's very weird. All right. I want to put attack stuff on her. Like, this is a good piece for her. Yeah, that's not bad. And then what do you got going on? Attack and crit damage. I think we're going to have to take this off you. We're not doing much with you at the moment. Let's give her that. Now her attack's up a bit more. We lost some crit rate, so maybe we don't even think about... Oh, we took the crit rate set off, though. Got boots. I'm not really doing much with you. Healing effect, I like. Here's the thing. Even with a crit rate set, she's going to be critting like 1 out of 5 times. I feel like it would be better to just try to focus on something that's going to give her actual, like, more reliable damage for now. Or a healing effect set if we've got a good, if we can fill in those gaps well. Like here we've got some HP. Defense and healing, that's pretty good. Attack rate. That's got HP and flat attack. Anything down here interesting? Healing effect and effect hit. HP rate. Healing effect and HP rate. I'd like healing effect and attack if I could get it, but... Defense rate and healing effect. Attack and HP. See how this one does. Okay, that's quite a bit more healing. It'll be interesting to see how this translates, how this affects her damage. And then what do we have on her? We've got a flat D. I think I just put the first one on her. I got. There's some crit rate. You can't have Liz's. I mean, you just can't. I mean, crit rate. I guess we could give her this. And don't give me all mastery. Give me some HP rate. There we go. Here, now maybe she'll be able to take a little bit of a better hit now. And then again, she's in all speed, but like, do I need her this fast? You know what I mean? Do I need her? I think 1400 is enough to go first in most PvE environments. Like around 1400. Maybe she doesn't need double speed. Maybe. When did I get this stuff? So we get. That seems, I mean, again, we lose a little bit of speed. We'll get it back. All right, so we'll give her that. And then I feel like the boots, probably. And then we can max them for the speed. And then she's still, yeah, she didn't lose much speed. She probably gained a little bit of HP and some healing rate. So that might be a good bump for her. So they might be in better shape. And then let's see, I do have a aura on her. And do I have one on her as well? Yeah. And then I think I have a mastery one on him. Yeah, can I upgrade it? I haven't been in there in a second. Probably not. No, okay. Okay, let's see if let's just see if the run looks any different now. You know what I mean? Let's see if that's made any sort of noticeable. Like if they're a little closer to not dying in the second wave, if we're able to cut through his shield at all, like if Molina's actually got a little bit more damage output and stuff, and just see what it looks like. I'm gonna let him just full auto it and see how it goes. Provokes are not fun. I think a lot of this will help too. Get another star. And also, Hazanja needs some levels. He's not maxed out yet. But I think we were just out of potions, so. All right, let's see if we can get through this shield at all on auto. I almost feel like that skill needs another cooldown. That's a real short cooldown, man. You gotta really have some big damage in here. I think if I had remembered this boss, I would have thought a little bit longer about regressing. Knowing that Hazanja basically doesn't do anything for me on this boss. Like it would have been different to deal with it at 19 because I would have expected to have to build champs more, but to be stuck at 16 in green with a 5A champ is tough. Like we're not even close to getting through the shield. So we either need more members on the team, or they need more, or Molina especially needs more stars. And I don't think I have another green champ. Yeah, I don't have another green champ that I'm doing anything with right now. So we're in kind of a weird spot, because I don't know that I could have done it on blue either. I don't know if Guhana could have kept Margarita alive at 2 or 3 stars even. You know what I mean? Because that second wave is tough. Everybody blows their load in the first wave, and then that second wave is hard, and they're all hitting harder in stage 19. So part of me is like, yeah, it should have been Margarita, but then another part of me is like, I probably couldn't have kept her alive to the boss on auto anyway. And I'm trying to do all this shit on auto. So I don't know. I think maybe more stars. I mean, if we look at the difference in her attack stat, like that's gonna be a big jump in attack, right? It's almost double at 5A on a defense champ. So yeah, I don't know. The thing too though is that I don't want to put stars in Molina next. I don't want to build her next. I would much rather do Liz or Space. You know what I mean? So, we'll get it figured out. It'll all get sorted. All these red dots, dude. The progression halt in this game is unlike any other game I've played. I've been playing these games for almost a decade. I have never seen a game where progression felt so smooth until it immediately doesn't. And then it's like, you are just going to be stuck in this spot for a while. Unless you honestly kind of lucked up. I think one thing to consider as a beginner that it doesn't really allude to is you need to build teams. You need to build a team of the same mark, because these mark dungeons at a certain point just get absurd. Like, you know what I mean? I'm at 19. I feel like you need either 2 really good champs. One of them has to be like tanky enough to live and do big damage and a good support to keep them alive, or 3 pretty good champs, right? Pretty good specific champs. So I don't know. I guess we gotta see if we pull anyone else interesting. I've got 9. Let's pop these shards real quick. Get us closer to pity anyway. We need another green champ though. We need a solid green champ to add to this team, I think, in order to get through this dungeon. I'm kind of leaning in green, because I think Senton, as much as I love him, he's not for that. He's not that kind of damage, right? He's much more bruisery. And taking a bruiser champ into that stage where that dude's constantly putting shields on himself that we can't do anything about. We can't block it. Maybe we can remove it. Does anyone... It's not an attribute buff though. So Molina can't remove it. I don't think Space has any buff removal. So we either need someone that can you remove the shield? Does that count? I guess it's technically... It only says he's immune to debuffs, not immune to having his buffs removed. Does it say, or wait, does it say it can't be blocked or removed? Now that feels like that's something in my head. I think it did, didn't it, actually? This skill cannot be blocked and stolen. But stolen's different than removed. Also, too, there's a lot of things that are kind of lost in translation in this game, so that might mean removed. I don't know. I don't have anyone that can test it anyway, so... Yeah, I think we're just kind of at a halt on these missions, so we're gonna have to kind of... I guess we just have to suck it up and focus our energy elsewhere for a little bit. Which annoys the hell out of me, to be honest. I don't... I hate that. I hate these kinds of hard progression walls like that. I hate not being able to build champs a little bit quicker. That is quickly starting to really become a legitimate issue for me. I do wish we had a little bit more access to food. Because in other games where the system is you have to level them up and rank them up, this is steady giving me bonus dispatches, by the way. I'm supposed to have 8. And I regularly have more than 8. Yeah, where in other games you level up, you can get 1 and 2 star champs, and it's up to you how much stuff you want to do to make food, but you level them up, rank them up. There's no shortage of champs, right? Here you don't have to do that, which is nice. You can just rank shit up. But the downside to that is it's just gone. You know what I mean? It's just not there anymore. So there you go. All right, so let's I'm even getting to the point where, like, how long will it be till I build Norma? Will we pull more copies of Norma? I think I've already used 1 copy of her as food. Let me get them. Do I have any 5-star stuff ready? I have 2. I've even got Eden unlocked because I'm like, I gotta progress. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see. Tough decisions to be made as you progress, for sure, as far as like who to hang on to and all that stuff. All right, we did pretty good in the arena season. I think we held Plat 1 in Classic, and I think I snuck up into Platinum last minute in Advanced Arena. You know what would be kind of dope, I think, for this store? I think you should have access to the highest tier of stuff that you've placed. So like I finished in, I think Plat, was it Plat 3? I don't remember. I was in Platinum. But like I feel like you should just have access to that stuff. And can we get a few more points? This is the like moderate gripe episode apparently. Can we get a few more points for doing arena? I don't think I've ever purchased anything from this shop. And I've done a good bit of arena on this account since I started playing the game. Maybe I bought a stack of these once. I know I did on the main account. Can't remember if I've done it here. But like, give your boy some more coins here. I think they said they were talking about that. They were talking about the amount of stuff that drops per fight. I've mentioned to them several times, by the way, I would say probably 20 to 30% of the time. 30 is probably more reasonable, actually, honestly. 30% of the time that I win 2 of the 3 fights, I still lose ranking. The positive points that I got from winning 2 rounds don't equal more than the 1 round of negative points. So I'll win 2 of 3 rounds and lose 4 points. Yesterday I had one where I won 2 of 3 rounds, and I think I lost 7 points, if I'm not mistaken. It was a big dip, and I won 2 of the rounds. Like, I keep telling them about it. No one's even answering me. But I'm hoping they'll address that soon, because that's kind of a problem. The whole point of this is to win 2 of 3 fights. And lately, I even did the video on it, like, you only got to win 2. Because for a minute, it seemed like that was the case. But now, and there seems to be no correlation with, like, how strong the team is. Sometimes it'll be like, like say this was one of their teams, and then they had two kind of strong teams or full teams. You win one, lose one here. You'll still lose a lot of, or not gain many points for winning this one, which is not completely unreasonable, and then lose a certain amount of points. But then it can be the flip side, where if it's like one champ that's strong, and you just take the L because it's one strong champ, and then they've got two other weak teams, you'll like lose way more points for just throwing that round. And that happens with solo champs. It happens with full teams. Like, I can't figure out a pattern. I can't really figure out how it's calculating the points for each round, because there seems to be no theme to it. I'm sure there is, I just haven't caught it yet, but like, it's odd. So I don't know, hopefully that gets sorted out, because I think regardless of the difficulty of the teams, I think if you win 2 rounds, you should get positive points. You should come away from that with positive ranking points. So we'll see. All right, yeah, I guess we'll get out of here. I have some work to do. We did push up a bit more in the campaign as well. Might be able to do a little bit more. I can't remember if I've tried since he was 5A. But yeah, we've got a little bit more food to make, and I reckon as boring as it is, the prospect of investing in Molina next, I wonder if space, I don't know. It's gonna be one of these two. Though we're gonna get our green team up and going and see how far we can push through this this Mark dungeon. I feel like once we figure out how to get through these stages with the shield, once we get through this one, we're gonna get up to 19 pretty quick. I think. I don't think we're gonna the one where it heals when you hit the minions will be a little bit of a headache, but I think if I go in and manually do that, we can knock that out. I think that the shield ones are going to be the headache for us, with Hazanja being our 5A here. But again, maybe we just have to get these guys. Maybe it's not even a matter of needing another damage dealer so much as just needing them with more stars so that their base stat scale, so that their damage scales. And we can pick through that shield a little bit more. And maybe when the shield comes down, we can land debuffs. And if that's the case, then you know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, video's long enough. Getting out of here. Appreciate you guys watching. Hope you have a good one. Later.